In this scenario, where the ENFJ girlfriend claims to have blocked someone, but the INFP-A partner discovers that she hasn't and is still following the person, the INFP-A's reaction would likely be shaped by their sensitivity, introspection, and strong value system. Here's how an INFP-A might typically react. Initial reaction: 1. Feeling of betrayal. The INFP-A would likely feel hurt and betrayed, especially since honesty and integrity are core values for them. Discovering that their partner may not have been truthful would deeply affect them. 2. Emotional processing. INFPs tend to process their emotions internally before reacting outwardly. The INFP-A might withdraw or become quiet as they try to understand their feelings and the situation. They might need time alone to sort through their thoughts and emotions. Possible internal dialogue. Questioning trust. The INFP-A might start questioning the trust in the relationship. They could wonder why their partner felt the need to lie or mislead them, which might lead to doubts about other aspects of the relationship. Empathy versus hurt. Despite feeling hurt, the INFP-A might also try to empathize with their partner. They could consider possible reasons why the ENFJ might have lied, such as fear of conflict or not wanting to hurt the INFP's feelings. However, this empathy might be in conflict with their feelings of betrayal. Confrontation and communication. 1. Gentle confrontation. When the INFP-A is ready to address the situation, they might approach it gently and carefully. They typically dislike confrontation, so they might express their feelings in a calm, measured way, focusing on how the situation made them feel rather than outright accusing their partner. They might say something like, "I noticed that you're still following the person, and I'm feeling confused and hurt because I thought you said you blocked them." 2. Seeking honesty. The INFP-A would likely seek clarity and honesty from their partner. They would want to understand why the ENFJ said one thing but did another, and they would hope for an open and sincere conversation to resolve the issue. 3. Emphasis on values. The INFP-A might emphasize the importance of honesty and trust in the relationship, explaining how the situation has impacted their feelings of safety and trust. Response to the ENFJ's explanation. Understanding and forgiveness. If the ENFJ offers a genuine explanation and apology, the INFP-A might be willing to forgive, especially if they feel their partner's intentions were not malicious. Their empathetic nature could lead them to understand the ENFJ's perspective, even if they still feel hurt. Struggle with trust. However, rebuilding trust could be a challenge. The INFP-A might need reassurance and time to fully trust their partner again, and they might become more sensitive to any future signs of dishonesty. Long-term impact. Deep reflection. The INFP-A is likely to reflect deeply on the situation, considering how it fits with their overall relationship. They might question whether this incident was an isolated mistake or part of a larger pattern of behavior. Desire for transparency. Going forward, the INFP-A might desire more transparency in the relationship. They might express a need for open communication and honesty to prevent similar situations in the future. Conclusion. In a normal scenario, an INFP-A would react to discovering that their ENFJ partner didn't block someone as claimed, with a mix of hurt, confusion, and a need for clarity. They would likely approach the situation carefully, seeking to understand why it happened, while also emphasizing the importance of trust and honesty. If the situation is handled with sincerity and understanding, the INFP-A might be willing to forgive, though the relationship could require some rebuilding of trust. Would you like to explore how the ENFJ might respond in this situation, or dive into any other aspects of this scenario? If this is the fourth time something similar has happened, the INFP-A's reaction would likely be more intense and reflective of the accumulation of previous incidents. Given the INFP's sensitive and introspective nature, they might be approaching their limit in terms of how much they can tolerate these types of situations. Here's how an INFP-A might react in this scenario. Accumulated frustration and hurt. 1. Increased sensitivity. By the fourth incident, the INFP-A would likely feel significantly more hurt and frustrated. Their initial reaction might involve a deeper sense of betrayal, as the pattern of behavior suggests to them that the ENFJ's actions are not just isolated mistakes, but part of a recurring issue. 2. Doubts and anxiety. The INFP-A might start to seriously doubt the sincerity and integrity of the relationship. They could feel anxious about the future of the relationship, questioning whether they can continue to trust their partner. The repeated incidents might make them wonder if the ENFJ values the relationship as much as they do. Reflective processing. 1. Intense internal reflection. INFPs are prone to deep reflection, and after multiple similar incidents, the INFP-A might spend a lot of time thinking about what this pattern means for their relationship. They might analyze their partner's behavior, their own feelings, and the overall health of the relationship. 2. Reevaluation of the relationship. The INFP-A might begin to reevaluate the relationship as a whole, considering whether it aligns with their core values of trust, honesty, and mutual respect. They might question if continuing the relationship is in their best interest, given the recurring issues. Confrontation and communication. 1. Stronger confrontation. After multiple incidents, the INFP-A is likely to be more direct in addressing the issue. While still avoiding overt conflict, they might express their feelings with more urgency and insist on a clear and honest conversation. They might say something like, "This has happened several times now, and it's really hurting our relationship. I need to understand why this keeps happening." 2. Demand for accountability. The INFP-A might demand more accountability from the ENFJ, insisting that the behavior needs to change if the relationship is to continue. They might be less willing to accept vague explanations or excuses and could push for a more concrete resolution. 3. Discussion of boundaries. The INFP-A might feel the need to establish or reinforce boundaries within the relationship. They could express that their trust has been damaged and that certain behaviors need to stop if the relationship is to survive. Possible outcomes. 1. Breakdown of trust. If the ENFJ's explanations don't satisfy the INFP-A, or if the behavior continues despite promises to change, the INFP-A might decide that the relationship is no longer healthy for them. Trust is crucial for INFPs, and repeated breaches can lead them to feel that the relationship is unsustainable. 2. Emotional withdrawal. The INFP-A might begin to emotionally withdraw from the relationship as a way to protect themselves. They could become less open and vulnerable with their partner, leading to a growing emotional distance. 3. Decision point. The INFP-A could reach a decision point where they need to choose between continuing to work on the relationship or ending it to preserve their emotional well-being. This decision would be difficult and deeply considered, as INFPs take their relationships very seriously. Conclusion. In this scenario, where this is the fourth similar incident, the INFP-A is likely to be at a crossroads. Their patience and understanding might be wearing thin, and they could feel that their values are being compromised. They would likely confront the situation more strongly, seek accountability, and consider whether the relationship is still worth pursuing. If the ENFJ doesn't make significant changes, the INFP-A might choose to distance themselves